Hi, so today we're gonna talk about the pre-holiday collection from SUQQU, and I have two eyeshadow quads from them, which is these two. Obviously, the packaging is actually a little different. This is their typical packaging. It's like a glossy black compact, and the new one, I don't know if you can tell, it's like full of glitter. It's still smooth to the touch, but it's like very glittery looking. Actually, you know what? It looks like the glitter top coat kind of finish in every one of their quads, because you know in every quad it has a glitter top coat kind of color, and that's how this look like. So the inside one is this a little yellowy brown kind of color theme. Actually very everyday and neutral for a pre-holiday collection. And the other one, this one is more cool toned. It's like a purpley, peachy, and some glittery, silvery kind of colors. I feel like each of them have something that's a little bit similar around this whole line, the signature eyeshadow quad line, but there won't be any quad that's like so close to be a dupe. So I would do a swatch comparison with some other quad like this one. I think this would be a little bit similar to the shade 03 in their permanent range. And this one, I actually think maybe this is a little bit close to their color 01 and also one of their fall collections. So I will swatch on my arm at the end of the video to see how close they are. But now we're just gonna put them on my eye. Like I always do, I will put one on each of my eye. In their other palettes, this shade, the first shade would be the glittery top coat kind of shade, but in this palette it's not, it's at here. And these two are shimmers. This one looks like a satin, and this is a glitter topper. Maybe I should bring you a little closer. I think this is close enough. I will firstly put this color, the satin neutral brown shade, all over my lid to basically use this as a base color. So for these kind of satin shades in this signature color eyes line, it's a very sheer formula, so you won't get a super pigmented look from this color. But I feel like for some of their limited edition colors, if this color would be a very bright color, they will make it more pigmented. So I do think this formula, the sheerness, is like, it's not because they can't make this color very pigmented, they just make this sheer intentional. So actually I think that's very nice, because a very sheer but even formula is very easy to use for everyday user. Okay, I think that's pretty nice as always. So now I'm thinking to put this one all over my lid using my finger. I feel like this quad is not as pigmented as their other limited edition quads. Like I said, I think this is because the color theme. This is more of a everyday kind of color story, and they usually make this kind of color a little bit sheer. This shade, a pale gold. Oh, actually, you know what? This shade feels like it's between a topper shade and a shimmer. I think this is a shimmer shade mixed with some topper glitters, and it's quite pretty. Yeah, it's very pretty. And I will put the gold we just used on the lower lash line. Now is the most exciting shade in this quad, is this shade. I think if someone would buy this palette, they'd probably buy it because of this shade. Oh, this surprisingly very pigmented. So now I'm thinking, are they really like glitter toppers? Maybe there isn't a glitter topper in this quad because they are all like shimmers mixed with some glitters. Okay, let's. I'm kind of a little scared to do this because it is very dark. Okay, let me try. I think I should have put this color all over the lid and then the light pale gold shade on the in the center, but actually this shade layers very nicely on top of that gold and it's looking very nice. Now applying this shade, I kind of feel a little bit more holiday kind of thing because it has some depth to it and it's very pretty. And for this kind of very cool toned glittery shade, it usually gets very like, I don't know, like patchy and dusty, dirty looking, but this one is not. It's very, very even just blend with my finger. I really, really like this shade. I want to also put this shade on my lower lash line. Actually, I didn't expect this shade to be the most pigmented shade in this quad. Now I'm gonna place the little pale gold topper shimmer on the center. Yeah, this is such a beautiful color story. And I forgot to tell you the shade name. This is 108. The next one is this purple, peachy, and some silvery shades kind of palette. I think I want to kind of swatch at first to see the pigmentation. Yeah, they are the same like the last quad, where this shade is more of a topper shade, but it has a little bit more of a base shade than their normal topper shades. And this one is a very, very pretty shimmer shade with glitter in it. So you won't be able to use this one as a topper. I will say that. So I was wrong. I was wrong when I was just looking at the palette. So now let's apply this the way we have done with the other palette, which is put this shade down first. My undertone doesn't work very well with this kind of cool toned grayish purpley shade. So we will see. This shade is surprisingly pigmented as the shade it is. You know, I thought it would be quite a sheer shade, but it has quite a bit of payoff. And I want to say it's a little bit like bruise looking on my lid, but that's just because of my very warm toned olive undertone. Okay, now let's layer the peachy shade on top because I want a warm shade very badly. Maybe I should just use my finger. Yeah, it works much better. Okay, actually that layered pretty nicely. This shade layering on top of this peach shade. Whoa. This one is just even darker than the one in the last palette. So I have to be careful, and I don't want to make this a very, very dark smoky eye. So layer this purpley grayish shimmer topper shade on the center. And this shade is actually more of a topper than the one in the last palette. They are very similar, but I feel like this is a little sheerer and a little bit more glitter. Oh, I do really like this one as well. And I really appreciate they put this peachy shade into the quad, because for me, if they would put all like cool toned shades, all 4 cool toned shade in this palette, I won't be able to use it just on itself. I need something warm. Now taking a little bit of the darkest shade and apply on my lower lash line, and you can see how much payoff it has. You really have to be very careful. Pretty nice, pretty nice. So I finished the eye with some liner and mascara. I think this 2 palette, they are very much a soft smoky eye kind of thing. I think it's more for somebody that wants a little bit glam but not too much for every day, and those kind of people may willing to reach for this palette. Like me, I am very much a soft smoky eye kind of person, and I really like both eye look that I have done, especially this eye. Actually, this eye is really growing on me. So now the makeup has done. I really like this collection, this Signature Color Eyes formula. This whole range, like every limited edition collection, is just never let me down. They are all like the best quality, and they are all like very cohesive. I never felt like I have to reach for another palette to create a look using the Signature Color Eye quads. And these 2 quad, the 108 and 109, they are very on brand with SUQQU, that they are very easy to use everyday kind of shades, but it's just a little bit different than the everyday shade you would usually see on the market. And I will swatch this one first, so you can see the color on my finger. The satin shade is a little bit powdery, but that's just normal. It doesn't feel powdery on the eye. And beautiful bronze shade. It's like a pale bronze kind of shade. And this very, I don't know how to describe it, cool-toned, glittery taupe brown shade. So now let's swatch the 03 shade. It's actually much warmer and orangey than the new limited edition quad. The swatch just got a little bit messy, but I think you get the idea that they are not a dupe by any means. At first I thought they would be like very close to each other, but they are actually not at all. They are just at the same color family, at the best. Let's compare the other one, the 109, which is this one. So this is the color, and let's swatch on the center of my arm so that we can compare the other colors side by side at the same time. And I feel like just by the swatch, it almost feels like the color story is a little bit random. Normally you wouldn't pair these colors together to create a look, right? For me, I probably would use these two together, but this two is like, feels like it came from nowhere. But when you blend them together on your eye, it's a really pretty look. And I don't know how they figured that out, but like shade selections from SUQQU is always, they are just genius. I don't know what other words to say. So the number 01 is like the same with the other comparisons. It's more of like in the same color family maybe, but they are not similar or a dupe by any means. The one from the fall collection, this one is the one I thought would be very close. So now let's see the swatch. And I feel like by swatching it, it just looks more different compared to if you just compare there in the pan, because every similar colors, they are in a different finish. But I would say if you blend them together on the eye, you probably will get something that's a little bit similar, but still not the same at all. So I won't say there is a dupe through their signature color eyes line. They're all like a little bit similar at best, not a dupe at any means. And this is the whole comparison. You can see, like I said, nothing similar, nothing is a dupe. So overall, I really loved these two palettes. The packaging is a very accurate way to present what is in this palette, like this shade, because this shade is the shade really stands out in this whole palette, and it's the same finish with this like glossy glittery packaging. The whole thing is just so well thought out. It's definitely not something is like just a cash grab in the holiday. Yeah, of course they do this to make money, but they really put well thought into it, and the quality is very amazing. And this is I feel like it's a new formula in their line, and I really am looking forward for them to come out more of this formula, because it's amazing. It's shimmery, it's glittery, but at the same time it's like has a lot of payoff, and it doesn't get patchy. Changes your eye look in 1 second. I would get a lot of use out of these quads in this winter, especially this quad. I feel like their cool toned quad is like this because I am very much a warm toned person. Whenever I see it online or just in person, just seeing it, it never like gets me. A lot of the time it's mostly like, yeah, because it's SUQQU, I guess I will buy it, but I don't know how much I love it. When I actually use it on my eye, that's when I feel like, oh, this is really pretty and really amazing. Thank you for watching. Bye.